a good Easter, ate too much, partied too hard. No, yeah, we did. I did. And I'm gonna be drinking water for the rest of the day after I finish my soda. It was fun though. Really good food. Prime rib, lamb, mashed potatoes, and roasted Brussels sprouts with bacon. So, and then pie. So I think, I pretty much did it. Did what I kind of wanted to do yesterday. And good day to celebrate the resurrection of Jesus Christ early in the morning. The moon was full. Well, not full, but it was really kind of, I don't know, almost otherworldly glow to it. You know, clouds around it, and you got the moon set up again with the trees. Really pretty on the way to mass. Anyway, I want to talk about celebration. So it's over, and as per the thumbnail, we're not going to have celebration next year. No celebration next year. I think that you should all wonder why. Okay, that is a question, and nothing was being streamed in the way that there was. Actually, there was one live stream where there was a chat, so you could get in there, and I trolled and I left just because I wanted to. But pretty much it was a kabuki dance. I do want to talk a little bit more about Kennedy's basically acting like she couldn't remember Kevin Feige's movie. She said it was like a fan announcement, but it really like a press or fan announcement, but it never really had any legs. And then Matt Bellany, whom, if you're interested in this stuff, subscribe to Puck. It's a good, really deep dive into the industry. Basically called her out with the words Alan Horn from 2019. Paraphrase, we are very delighted to have two such great producers. Just a minute. Is he out in the garage? Did I leave the dog out in the garage?
In here.
Where are you? He followed me out in the garage and I was putting stuff away. Anyway, sorry. So Alan Horn basically said we're very proud to have two such unique and talented producers working together on a Star Wars project. Hey, just some other guy. I'm like, oh, is this selective amnesia? Or did she actually forget? Her boss in 2019 basically said, you are working with Kevin Feige on a Star Wars movie. Now, Matt Bellany basically said that movie has been put on the back burner. As far as I'm concerned, they canceled it. Okay, they canceled it. And now we've got the Daisy Ridley thing. And here's what one of Kamran's Facebook buddies posted, and I have to agree with him. There was a guy named Band, his last name was Band, back in the 70s and 80s, who would get an idea for a movie. So what he would do was he'd create posters and all kinds of publicity for it, go to cons, and get investors interested. Then, once he got the money, then he'd finance the movie. All right. It's like kind of a dumb way to do things. Now, Kennedy could be doing that with this. Or, because, let's go back to see what Iger said, we are going to take a careful look at Star Wars movies. I know he said that. They're not greenlit. None of them are. And, she She admitted herself yesterday she didn't even have a first draft of the Daisy Ridley dumpster fire. All right. And if you watch Daisy when she went out there, she wasn't exactly happy to be there. You know what I'm saying? She's out there mugging for the camera, but she's not believing it's real. All right. I mean, and why? Because she knows it's not. So Daisy's not going to face any. I mean, look, the actors in this, as far as I can tell, let's go back to The Acolyte. Those people they've been part of a fraud, yet they were defrauded too. All right. I mean, but with Kennedy, look, she was told not to make any more announcements. She did anyway. We know through Sparrow that she got yelled at by Iger to stop doing this shit and do something about Headland and make a deal with McCarthy. It is really, really sad when I see her being able to get away with it. Hey, Dave, but I don't think she'll be able to because these movies haven't been greenlit. They're not, and they won't be. Look, the bottom line is the only thing that matters, and Disney's looking at Daisy Ridley and going, no, 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 no. Why? Because she doesn't sell merch. She doesn't put butts in seats. All right, the girl's having a hard time right now with her career because after all is said and done, she walked away with nothing. I mean, of all the people to get a boost, it was Adam Driver. All right. And despite, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, don't yell at me, that he is an overrated actor, he got the attention of people like Francis Ford Coppola and others. And, he's got a decent career going. He's not, I would say, a movie star. I mean, he's not, look, I mean, the guy, Christopher Walken is better looking. Walken is better looking than he is, and I think he's gross. Okay, just, anyway. But Daisy got short end of the stick, and why? She didn't have a character to play. There was no depth to Ray. There was no emotion in Ray. She just was this one-dimensional lump, okay? I mean, Mary Sue doesn't really describe her when, look, she was almost there as an avatar for Kennedy. Honestly, does Kathleen Kennedy think that she's like that? Really? Okay. All right. Fine. I don't care. It's just weird. But a lot of people think that she thinks that's, what she actually is. I mean, a one-dimensional, a 2x4. All right. And just, no. Anyway. And I don't see Kennedy getting to Cannes. Indy 5 is released, and Kennedy desperately, and look, what you watched on Friday was Kennedy's desperation. She's trying to prove she's got something on the burner, even when Iger said, no, you're done. Go away. Okay. He told her, stop talking about the Lindelof movie. It's not going to happen. All right. And there she is. So she defied him. And this was desperate. Look, what she tried to do this weekend was prove that there was energy for Ray. All right. Her goodbye celebration it was less of a retrospective than it was a let me suck up all the oxygen in the room from John and Dave. All right. This is this was her final okay. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm going to say this. It was such a, look, this is what I think is going on. A, she's looking to try to get other investors. Now, I don't know how this works, but if it does, let's say like she gets 4 or 5 investors and gets about $200 million. That's about what a movie of this kind would cost. We remember who we're talking about, right? Missed reshoot. Budget goes up. Okay. She gets those investors. Disney still has to say, we are going to distribute it. All right, they're the ones that get the final say. And I'm like, what are you doing? If that's what she's doing. Or, all right, she could be doing this. Nanny Bob, like that. Or she's doing this. The Ahsoka trailer is awesome. I have to torpedo it on the way out the door. Scorched earth as she leaves. And considering that, I don't care what anyone says, Valiant Renegade and his buddy Pro, the bros over there are saying, it's real, bro. No, it's not. Okay. What you're seeing is her a desperation trying to get anybody interested in a Rey movie. You've got her being insubordinate as hell to her bosses. I mean, Bob Iger, Alan Bergman, Dana Walden. Okay. And you've got her trying to suck up all the oxygen from the people that really matter in all this. The new sheriff. The new sheriff's in town. Favreau and Filoni. When they announced all these movies, James Mangold, dude. First off, if you look at what he's got on his plate, that Star Wars movie we may never see it just because he's got so much other stuff. Okay, Charmaine Chinoy, when she was up there on the stage, looked lost and a bit scared. What else? And Kennedy, I don't know what, she must have taken some extra boost Botox because she just looked like a raving fucking bitch. It is. I mean, but I'm not kidding. I'm looking at her. You saw the pictures that I posted on the video. What the hell? Did she go and sit in a cunt deprivation tank for a night? My God. I mean, the woman she's just gross. I mean, she went all out to look as together as she possibly could. And it fell so hard. I mean, and then of course, we've got the Acolyte. I am currently doing research into pull those permits. Blue Stockings is the company. It was very easy to find in the lawsuit. And because I haven't seen them, but if what I suspect is in them, if you can extrapolate a fully funded $200 million or less or more, I actually do know the number, I'm not going to say it. If you can extrapolate that from what I've heard is in those, you must be smoking some fine ass weed, and I want some. Because there's nothing there. I mean, look, if you take those pieces of paper, and you look at them, nothing in that to me sounds like there's anything of their Disney suits in the lead, but that doesn't mean that they're funding the show. And, from what Sparrow said, uh, you know, Headland was given 50,000 euros here, 50,000 euros there, and then monies from shady shell corporations, Blue Stockings, California, Blue Stockings, UK. All right, who's putting the money in there? It's Kennedy, probably. But is it her money, or is she taking money from, Ahsoka, Mandalorian, the Book of Boba Fett? Is she taking money from other projects that were earmarked specifically for this by Disney? We haven't heard anything about the audit yet, but I have a feeling it's not going to look good for anybody who actually believes the Acolyte or the Rey Shinoy dumpster fire movies happening. Because Disney, look, here's something else that these people are forgetting. Disney put Marvel on a diet. It's public knowledge. Their budgets have been capped for both streaming and films, and they're slowing down production. Anything about like that about Star Wars? No. And we don't have Celebration next year? No. So, what is going on here? Okay, we don't see, Kennedy being told you can only spend 170 million on this movie about the rise of the Sith, about Darth Bane, or, I'm talking about movies that if I was running Lucasfilm, I'd be talking about Revan. We need a big star, Keanu Reeves. Naming some other, maybe Brandon Sklenar. There's another name just for Revan. I'm watching this going, there's something not right about all this. Why is Disney not doing the same thing with Marvel, with Lucasfilm? And I think it's because they're going to spin it off, or they're going to consolidate the movie studios under one person. And it's not Kevin Feige. Okay, I don't think Kevin Feige would be the guy, but I have a feeling I know who could. Because he's been doing stuff with Marvel, and now he's doing stuff with Star Wars, and we all know who he is. Mr. Iron Man, all right? Jon Favreau. Because, who said it? Was it Thomas Oyston? I can't remember. Or somebody told me that when Favreau and Filoni were up there, I think it might not have been him, Favreau or Filoni started crying about how the fans were and how they were just so thrilled that they were getting this opportunity and stuff. And Favreau looked pissed. Now I watched that. He looked a little annoyed. I didn't read that much into it. We don't know what was going on, but you could tell the whole time that there's tension between Kennedy and those two guys. They're like going, get the fuck out of here, bitch. Okay, that was the remarkable thing I got out. In fact, that was what I got out of the whole thing, is that they were like looking at her going, what in the art? None of this is gonna happen. All right, and she's sucking the wind out of their sails because she doesn't want, for some unknown reason, she doesn't want to let go. It's weird. I mean, that woman's ego is writing checks her talent can't cash. I'm not kidding either. It's like, when I hear like people, SJWs going, oh, she's one of the most talented producers. Name me a movie that has been successful that she's produced on her own. they'll bring up The Force Awakens, and I say The Force Awakens doesn't count. I'm talking about a movie without Harrison Ford, without Carrie Fisher, without Mark Hamill, without any of that. And you can't name one. The only time she's ever been successful is if there were guys named Frank Marshall with her, and when they did things together, Noises Off was their first foray into actually producing a movie themselves. It was a debacle. It was a horrible movie. Okay, she basically took it and ran it right into the ground. But her successful stuff, Steven Spielberg and George Lucas and Frank Marshall, all three of them together. Clint Eastwood, Martin Scorsese, Robert Zemeckis. Okay, and those are just some of the names. All right, she's got nothing. She's really got nothing to stand on, and the only reason why she got where she is because she kissed people's asses. Okay, that's where she got it. And to the people who are mocking me, Coach, who are mocking Cameron, same person from what I just heard, and those two idiots, the black pill blobs, those two idiots, not the one I just talked about. This is reality. This is not some fanboy fever dream. All right, you come in too late to the issue. We're at the tail end of this, and we've got a guy who has ruined friendships and is on the oh, I did too, Morgan. I thought he deserved that. He he came in too late. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He turns around and attacks people for daring to disagree with him, and now he's tearing the fandom apart. All right, and he's ruined friendships. This is really sad. Okay, look, okay, you don't have to believe me, but you might want to give what I've got to say and what Cameron has to say and what my friend Dan Watanabe has to say and others who don't necessarily follow the narrative have to say a chance. All right, start thinking critically. All right, see, if you've got people that only, no, I'm not talking about Doomy. No, Doomy has his ups and downs, and I understand it, but he's got a lot of integrity. Okay, it's not Doomy. It's like I said, a guy who's late to the game. All right, channel is maybe 5 months old. Okay, hey Cross, and telling people that Cameron's spreading disinformation and ruining a friendship, several friendships actually, because I called this guy out for clickbait, and I got yelled at by his little friend, and I'm like, fine, all right, go to hell, all right. He's doing clickbait. He's not telling the truth, and he's screwing everything up. Look, I almost wonder if this guy wasn't put out. Look, I used to go to this guy's blog and use his stuff. None of it was ever correct. Ever. Now we've got him having 2-hour-long tweet interviews with Pablo. And it's like, this is the font of honesty and integrity that you're talking about? Pablo? And this is why I trust him not. Right there. Because they're basically now the mouths of Lucasfilm. They are. They're the mouths of Lucasfilm. And that is not how you do objective reporting. This is not, you know, let's put it this way. Andrew Breitbart was alive right now and they worked for him, they'd be fired. Okay, they'd be like, no, this is, we're not CNN, we're not ABC News. You're not George Stephanopoulos and interviewing some, like Bill Clinton, okay? Just a fluffy bunch of shit and letting him get away with lying to people, okay? Which is exactly what they did. Okay, look, they didn't ask him any questions that should have been asked. They didn't ask him any questions that should have been asked. And when they did ask him even a semi fluffy question, they let him get away with it. They didn't follow up. That's not how you do things like that. An investigative reporter, I mean, look at James O'Keefe. All right. Does he do that? No. And he pisses all the right people off. And if you want to do that job the right way, look at O'Keefe. My brother-in-law's got tons of friends in DC who are investigative journalists. And they are, let's put it this way, they are honey badgers. Okay, and that's another thing you have to be. You have to be a honey badger if you're going to do that, because it's a tough job. But if you're just there to get pats on your shoulders and AdSense money and maybe perks, think about it. Think about it. Then you're not doing your job. You're not doing what you should be doing. Okay. For every interview with people who are trying to save their parents' legacy, you have 17 bullshit stories. Okay. I'll tell you how propaganda works. We'll go back to Celebration. KGB time. You would get oh yeah, you're right there. Tons of reach-arounds. If you were the CIA, let's say station chief in Paris, and you received several different things that the KGB wanted you to read, okay, there would be 15 things in it that were real or not real, depending, and 2 that were or weren't. It's up to you to decide to figure out which was part of that. Now, when I looked at Celebration and Kennedy's wide open yap, it's like none of these are real. The only real movie I think we can expect will be Dave Filoni's in 2025 or probably later. And because Lucasfilm has got to be reorganized. And it is, I mean, just reading the stuff that we've been able to extrapolate just from Matt Bellany, okay, about Lucasfilm and from Sparrow and Bluebird and others, it's like, holy crap. I don't think that DOJ will let them merge. I don't think that that's going to happen. I think that Disney will sell them something, and I hope it's not Lucasfilm, but considering that Kevin Feige has to take Marvel on a diet, and nothing like that's been said to Kennedy, no way, no movies, only 3 shows, Mandalorian, Ahsoka, and Skeleton Crew. We've got part 2, Tales of the Jedi, coming, which, the 10-minute, 15-minute, 10 or 15-minute things with like Dooku and Qui-Gon and all that. We're gonna get more of those. Those were good. We're gonna have Visions, but that's it. I mean, we don't there's really not a whole lot to announce. And Kennedy wanted to torpedo Ahsoka. Like I said, there are three things she did. She wanted to get investors interested in her fucking Daisy Ridley dumpster fire, flip the finger at Bob Iger and management, which is not a good idea. But we're not talking about someone with exactly a fully formed, mature, professional attitude about anything. And torpedo the success of showing the Ahsoka trailer. Now it's gotten a lot of play. It's absolutely beautiful, but she got at least a little bit of what she wanted. Now, it's Monday. Star Wars Celebration is over now. What could we see happen now? Where are we going to go with this? The layoffs will start. Okay. And that is going to take, I think, the wind out of a lot of people's sails on the movie's happening, bro. And the rest of those echo chamber, circle jerk bros. Okay, it's gonna because they're gonna see names they see. And remember, while they all forget about Victoria Alonso and not realizing just how big that was of a firing, we don't know what's gonna happen to Kennedy. She's desperate. She's basically she's waving her finger at Iger, daring him to fire her. And she keeps doing that. He's gonna do it. All right, because the people that all of these jackasses forget the investors. Yes, I think Nelson Peltz is excited about a Ray movie. Do you think maybe this morning Iger got a phone call from Peltz saying, "What the hell is this?" Do you think maybe Iger got a phone call from Kevin Feige saying, "Why'd you lie about me? I have him. I had it. We put the movie on the back burner, but that doesn't mean it's not going to happen." She really walked into a trap. Hey, Jonathan, and this myopic Kathy, sitting around like a bunch of idiots, like The View for men. It's just, do you understand what she did? First off, she gave her boss the finger, okay? She did everything she wasn't supposed to do, okay? Then she goes around and lets Leslie Headland show up with her demo reel show, which, I don't care how many blue stockings shell corporations you can find, and I'm going to find them because I'm going to read those documents for myself. I'm literally, oh yeah, she is. I'm literally stunned, all right? Do you think maybe McCarthy's lawyers saw that? Yes. Do you think maybe there might be some stuff they can use in their case against them? Yes. Okay. The reason why that we didn't get to see any of the footage, it was in almost like a separate room, and they weren't going to stream it, is because of the lawsuit. The thing that no one would talk about, the thing that's hanging over everybody's heads like the sword of Damocles. And Leslie Headland and her fake tears. Star Wars saved my life. What are you talking about? A perfectly successful TV producer and showrunner who suddenly just disappeared from the show she created, Russian Doll. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Did you get kicked off your own TV show? and now you have nothing else? Is this the make it or break it for your career? Because that's what it looks like to me. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm just putting it out there. And the crocodile tears she cried. Bullshit. Bullshit. Um, I call bullshit for 1,000, Alex. Yeah, there is, but that happened years before this. That was God, I think back in 2007. So none of it. George still owned Lucasfilm, and everyone was just kind of going along, happy as a lark, until he sold it and Kennedy came along. You have failed me again. You know, um, so we'll just have to see. Okay. But I am getting really tired of this drama, this bullshit of what's going on with those other idiots who they don't want to. They if you disagree with them and call them out, they're above criticism. All right, I'm not above criticism, but you better be fair and don't call names. Okay. Yes, I talk down to people when they ask me stupid questions or when they show up saying something stupid. If that's the extent of your intellect, I'm sorry, I'm not getting into a fight with you. You're not, you're a waste of my oxygen. Okay. So there's that. All right. But that they've got to stop it. They have to stop. And they have to start thinking about what they look like. Because look, I mean, you cannot continue with this Disney still staying woke and all this. It did not. Did you not see Nelson Peltz, who's still got $1 billion in Disney? He is not going anywhere. That was round one. He is still there. What about Tim Buckley of Vanguard? We're leaving ESGs behind. Guess what? Vanguard is actually the biggest investor in Disney, and they don't want to do ESGs anymore. You think maybe you should think about that and mention that? Or no, it doesn't fit your little biopic version of the world. Oh, I know, I saw that. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot to celebrate then, but we'll have to see. Anyway, I want you guys to just kind of hang around and think about the things I've said. Kennedy, if she look, she's gonna they're not going to get rid of her till after Indy 5 drops. But I think she's damn close. Okay, I'm still giving her a 25% chance of getting shit canned, especially after now. Maybe it's up to 30%. Because what she did was fuck up everything. Okay. And I don't want Apple to buy Lucasfilm, but it's like something is going on there. No celebration. Despite Kennedy's announcements, there aren't any movies happening. I don't care what the Black Pill Blobs say, because that wasn't from Disney. They didn't say, yes, we're giving these the green light. Matt Bellany himself said these movies don't have a green light. Master Carol, we can always hope. All right. The one thing that Black Pills don't have is hope. And the one thing that we as Star Wars fans should have is hope. All right. And with no celebration next year, with seemingly nothing really happening beyond Ahsoka and Skeleton Crew and Mandalorian, I really think we need to take what's going on with this with a sale or a brand new boss coming in very seriously. Brand new boss is obvious because Kennedy's not. She's 70. She's almost. She's gonna be 70 in like a month. So she's trying to say what legacy she has, and it's like, honey, your legacy is over. Okay, you don't have one. You fucked it up. You know, all you had to do was walk into the office after when Bob was talking about shit canning George's trilogy treatment, saying, I am going to go to the press and I'm quitting if you do this to George. I did not take this job to be part of fucking him over. Okay? And there's that. What are they going to do? The first female president of Lucasfilm quits over, let's see, not just creative differences, but Disney's treatment of George Lucas. You know, they would not be able to handle that. All right, anyway, I gotta go. I gotta see. Oh, okay, we got, yeah, Rudy's putting soil into the garden beds, and I'll probably plant them tomorrow. Anyway, you guys have a good afternoon, and look, I have a feeling things are about to hit the fan. Okay, I really, really do, because Celebration was a fucking joke, and I can't imagine what Bob Iger's thinking right now. Steph, signing up. I'll see you around the galaxy.